So this summer, I am experimenting with some new programming ideas and options. So I wanted to actually discuss those, kind of give a look at what some of the program design sort of looks like, and what I think is a good structure for anyone who's doing the things that I'm trying to do, which is I am trying to get stronger in the main movements, the squat, the bench, the deadlift, and the overhead press. But also, I'm trying to work on some of the other goals I have, which I talked about in another video. Some of them are exploratory goals in terms of learning things about, for example, Zercher squats and power cleans, and kind of reteaching those movements to myself, and really exploring the process of improving at them is basically what I'm doing, while also rotating some of my accessory work to keep things fresh, have some fun, and figure things out throughout the summer, just seeing what kind of programming I respond to. So I want to take you through sort of the overall structure of the program first. Basically, it's a 12-week program. You only see 9 here. The bottom 3 just get cut off. But the basic idea is this. There is, amongst the main movements, squat, bench, and press, and not deadlifts, and I'll get into that in a second why, a rotation of rep schemes. So week 1 here, this very first week, you see sets of 8. Starting with a top set of 8 with back offs around 95% of that weight. You can see it here kind of in these following weeks, which I haven't gotten through yet, kind of what numbers that I'm going through. So there'll be overall it's 3 sets of 8. It's a top set of 8 with back off sets of 8. And then it rotates to sets of 5 and sets of 2. And then it comes back to 8s and 5s and 2s. And you can see that I've put the numbers in here based on these numbers up here. And basically, each time you go through that same rep scheme, you're trying to make improvements over last time, whereas there will be a higher number. So like next week, like I squatted 395 for 8 this week, but I won't do 395 or 400 for 5s. I'll probably be like 415 or 420 starting out at the 5s as my top set, probably in that range. So a little bit of a jump week to week. Now, what you'll notice that is a little different, besides just doing 852, 852, 852, is that the Zercher squats stay the entire 9 weeks. Just like over here, the power cleans stay the entire 9 weeks, because those are the movements I'm trying to literally just practice at and get to know. And I'm treating them, they're basically novice movements to me at this point. I haven't power cleaned in probably 2 or 3 years. I don't think I've ever Zercher squatted for any length of time more than like a workout here, a workout there, kind of randomly. So I'm seeing how that sort of affects me in an overall recovery standpoint, right? And I went very light week 155 was something I could easily handle. And so I'm going to make more aggressive jumps. It says 160 to 170 there. Honestly, I could probably go up to 185 as high as, and then into the 200s the following week. But I'll just kind of see how I'm doing as I progress. It's exploratory. I haven't done this before, so I'm trying to see, starting at a very safe point. Power cleans at 115, very safe, but I wanted to get the technique down, and my technique actually was a lot better than I anticipated it being. So I'll be more aggressive in the jumps there going forward. Now, the rotations that I'm doing, basically, the third movement each day is an auxiliary movement of some kind. In the squat column here, starts with rows for 3 weeks, stiff leg deadlifts for 3 weeks, and then SSB good mornings for 3 weeks. In the bench press day, all of it's tricep focused, but dips at AMRAP for 3 weeks, LTEs for 3 weeks, followed by weighted dips for 3 weeks. So slightly different movements, although these two are very much linked. Overall, keeps things fresh, right? On day 3, the deadlift day, again, I got to come back to that when it comes to the rep schemes and what I'm doing there. But snatch grip RDLs for 3 weeks, then regular RDLs for 3 weeks, followed by SSB squats for 3 weeks. And I did that last because I've done a lot of SSB squats over the last 1.5 to 2 years, and so I want to keep those fresh. Then here, I treat it as like a upper back / arm day, if you will, but it's weighted chins, so opposite of the weighted dips. So I'm not doing weighted, those are weighted in the same weeks. So weighted chins are first, followed by a couple weeks of curls because it's the summer, got to get a pump, and then followed by chins. Honestly, it says 3x5, but really that should say AMRAP. AMRAP would be more accurate. I got to fix that. So that'll be 3 by AMRAP, those final 3 weeks, as many as I can do. Now, the deadlift programming itself. Why have I gone 852 everywhere else and then not on the deadlift? Well, quite frankly, I have been running this scheme with the sets of 5 rack pulls, and haltings were 8s for a long time. Now they're 6s. I've been doing that for, 5 months, 6 months. And it has been like a absolute panacea of gains for me. My back, for a long time, some of you guys have been following a little while. You guys know that my back injury that I had was always getting plagued by the deadlifts. And this combination of rack pull and halting versus doing full deadlifts has basically, it feels to me like it's almost unlocked like newbie gains. Like I started doing rack pulls like at like 400 pounds, and I have made literally linear progress up to now. And I did 490 last week, but before the meet, I did 505 for 5. And so I just kind of, because I took a week or two off from this sort of deadlift training surrounding the meet, I gave myself a little bit of a reset there. And the haltings as well, I was at that's supposed to say 440, not 44. But that's where I was. That's where I ended before the meet. So I'm kind of giving myself a range. But by doing rack pulls for 5s and haltings for 6s, my back has just continued to be healthy and made basically linear progress again. My deadlifts are making significant jumps. So I said, as much as I would love to like mix it up and maybe throw a third week in there with like Zercher deadlifts or a third week of regular deadlifts or something, I thought to myself, why would I change the programming for that specific movement if I'm really not seeing any stalling? Whereas like squatting, things were getting very grindy. Benching, things were getting very grindy on singles. Even pressing before I stopped about 4 or 5 weeks ago, getting pretty grindy, right? Like this stuff was getting hard, which is okay, but you get to a point where you grind the singles and then it's like, okay, do I just go back to 5s where I was? So I'm trying this rotating rep scheme, seeing if that does anything for me first with those movements. But I haven't had any real grinding in these deadlift supplementary lifts, you would call them, rack pull and the halting. So why switch them? That just wouldn't make sense to me. So that's why the programming is a little bit different there. But overall, I think this is a very good like program design, something I'm excited to kind of try and put my best foot forward at. I'm excited to see the gains and where they go. But this is like you're looking at pretty much my plan for the whole summer. Yes, I do 3 different exercises for usually about 3 sets per workout. And it's been gains for years at this point. And this is about all the volume I really need in a lot of ways. So if you're somebody who's got a laundry list of exercises where it's like you have 8 exercises you're doing in a day for 8 to 12 reps, or 4 by 8 or 4 by 12 with 8 different exercises, I think you're probably burning a lot of time in the gym that is unnecessary. You just need to pick a few targeted movements that are heavy, that are compound movements that involve a lot of muscle groups. Granted, I threw some curls in. That was for fun. And you can see a lot of progress. That's the point I'm trying to make by showing this. And hopefully it's something that pays off in the end. So far, the week of 8s was very hard because I've been doing 5s or less for, long time. We'll just say a long time. And so that week of 8s I just went through was difficult, but I'm excited to see how that plays in and interacts with the 5s, which then play in and interact with the doubles. The doubles are really just about skill development or maintaining skill in handling heavy loads as much as anything. So anyways, I would love to get anybody's thoughts on this. I love talking programming and training. Whatever thoughts or thoughts on this program you have or suggestions you have, I'm open to listening to it. I probably won't change anything right now just because I want to see how it goes first, but it'll open the window for me in the future when I come back to this, probably for like next summer or next spring, to make some more indifferent decisions. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like my content, please follow, please share, and see you on the other side. Health is not an accident. It's the product of our habits. Iron Habits is accepting clients right now. I'm accepting clients if you think you need a little bit of juice in your training and you'd like some coaching. Iron Habits is not about programming. Like, this is great. It's great to have programming, right? But I will teach you to correct your lifts, make your technique a whole lot better, and get the results that you really want. practicing those good fundamentals. Anyways, you have a great day. Thanks for watching.